Episode 76 of Fist of the North Star 1 Point. The keyword for this episode is going to be evil. That's a strong keyword. And as we started talking about these things, right, like this, we developed Ryuga, why he wants to fight against Kenshiro. And we mentioned in the previous video that he will gladly be evil. That's actually the main thing we get in this episode. He will gladly be and it's very interesting to see that he's conscious of it. He's conscious that it's evil, but why would he do it then, right? And he says it's for this era, like when he wants to fight against Kenshiro and Kenshiro doesn't want to. Right? By the way, we didn't say this in this previous video, just between brackets, right? Because it's very interesting. The lads were fighting. Ryuga wants to fight, but Kenshiro doesn't want to fight. And he's the savior. And that's a bad sign for Ryuga, because Rao will fight, he doesn't care. Right, but Kenshiro won't fight for no reason, and it's that middle ground, as we said, that he struggles to believe in, because that middle ground is not very expressive. So you see the kindness there, but what about the fighting? What about the being abominable if necessary? Is Kenshiro really like that? Because he really looks like Toki, let's say, that we developed. But we have said that he's not like Toki. He's more cruel than Toki, and that's good. But Ryuga isn't sure about that. Anyway, I just wanted to mention this. Concerning this episode, so he says that he will gladly be evil, so he knows what he's doing. But why would he do it then? But then he also thinks he's doing the right way. It's two things at the same time. It's his fate. It's my fate, so I have to do it. So you may think it's just rationalization, he's just legitimating what he's doing, but we talked about how curiosity is a good thing. And then it is for the era. He's right on some level. He's like, the world needs a great person, for sure. The weak is mistreated, and Ryuga, the very first line we see concerning him is, don't worry, I don't do anything, I don't harm women and children. So he's not just a 𝙿𝚎 type, jumps on the female. That's not what he is, right? So what is he on about, though? Why is he doing that? Because the simple thing that I want to say in this video is that this episode is a very good example, as we may have mentioned this, but this is a clear representation of this, so I want to make this the point of this video. It's that what's going on is descriptive, right? We have said this before. It's not prescriptive, it's descriptive. It's not judgmental, it's just observational. It's just what's happening. So what I mean by that is that is actually quite the reason Toki reacts that way. Ryuga acts like that, right? He's going to kill Toki. Why is he doing that? And you may think he's just an antagonist, like Nin is complaining about it, she's crying and so on. But when he tells Toki the reason he does it, very vaguely, very metaphorically, right, as usual, Toki goes, oh, I see. I guess you're right then. Then you can do it. And then in the next episode, it's going to be a bit developed. So is it evil? Yeah, it is evil. As we saw a lot of evil so far, but it didn't prevent, especially Kenshiro, who's the protagonist, so we see the story through his perspective. It doesn't prevent him and us, by his intermediate, to go, maybe he had a point, though. Maybe 1 among 10. Be it, but he had a point. He will make Kenshiro stronger. He does do it, if that sounds right. If that's, anyway, for this era. And so that's essentially what I wanted to say. This idea that, and Toki saying that as this kind of, as we said, right, this wise old man figure in this anime, right, that if you have to do it, then do it, because that's what must be, and that's fate. This is the story. This is the plot, but this is the message. Life is like that. There you go. Life is like that. And our perception beyond whether it's good or evil, and if it is good, then it's good and we have to support it. If it's evil, we have to oppose it, as Kenshiro does. But then you always have to have this extra vision of not seeing it in a, as we said, judgmental and prescriptive way, but in a completely observational and inquisitive, let's say, way, in a curious and descriptive way. These happen for a reason, and it means something. What do I get from these? And that's why Ryuga does that. That's how Toki understands it, and that's how Kenshiro may also understand it, and that's what we are supposed to understand as well. So let's say it's very complicated, but basically, evil is something you oppose in your actions, but in your mind, you see it, let's say, philosophically, as something that happens, and that's fate. And you have to derive more than just simply good and evil. You have to derive meaning from those. There you go for this video.